What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part lucky number 13 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Wulfrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, with the defeat of Traegard Mountain Cleaver, we completed the third of our monster hunts and acquired the Dragon Ogre's Great Horn, which should be quite helpful to Throg and his relatively low leadership troll army. In addition to that, we reached 100 out of 100 of the favor of the Crow, which now allows us to get Burple Smirk Spew Pit on the field. And by the looks of it, Burple Smirk is a very, very powerful Lord. Horrible regeneration, hit points plus 30%, battle healing cap plus 50%, poison attacks, and physical resistance for his entire army. He also has an upkeep reduction for Nurgle units and buffs for Nurgle units when using them. Granted, we don't have a lot of good Nurgle units available to us, but maybe that'll change as our friends, the Tallymen, grow. Frankly, we need to upgrade this to tier 2 anyway, and maybe we'll get a few better units out of them. If we could get some, like, Plague Ogres or something, that would be really nice for Burple Smirk, because they're relatively low in number, and I think this would be a better sort of buff for them. But anyway, getting a little bit ahead of myself. In terms of what we gotta do this time around, well, we've captured Castle Drakenhof, and we're going to continue essentially raising stuff around it with Throg, and essentially just using that to level up Burple Smirk while sort of ferrying additional units. We got 2 turns, I believe, until we unlock basically the entire roster for Norsca, so we're nearly there already, and a bunch of the armies are going to need a retrofit. Fortunately, it does seem to be working out the way that we wanted, in the sense that Wulfrik is nearly done here with Archaon, and as soon as he starts sailing, that's when we'll be able to retrofit him. So he has to go over here anyway to deal with the various champions of the other gods. Anyway, let's get started with what we gotta do. Now, Wulfrik, you are going to... Well, I guess here... Wait, can we sack this? Ooh, we most definitely can sack this. Alright, so we will sack this place, Monolith Bubonicus. Or wait, it's a tier 3. If we sack it, it'll go down to tier 1. Actually, I guess the question is, are we going to keep it? Because if we aren't going to keep it, then there's no reason to not sack it. And I'm not entirely sure. While we do want the Skull Road, because it's pretty decent, this particular territory, we might actually just trade to the Maggot Host. Maybe that's the better way to do it. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna sack it. We're gonna sack it. If we can trade it to the Maggot Host and get vassalage out of that, that would be nice. More Nurgle units for both us and for Burple Smirk. Anyway, you two go in. Obviously, you're going to leech the XP. Wolfie, you're going to sack the Monolith. And then you're going to proceed as quickly as you can to the Writhing Fortress before Archie has a chance to recover. Auto-resolve. And, oh wow, that did a lot of damage. Alrighty, auto-resolve and sack, and then you should in theory move this way. Got another Fear of Airmar. Hello! Vial of Troll Blood, what do you do? Unbreakable, oh, this isn't that good, is it? I mean, 90 seconds of Unbreakable isn't horrible, and a little bit of extra weapon strength, but it takes the same slot as a healing potion or a potion of toughness. And it offers no sort of heal or anything of that nature. Well, for now, but obviously we don't need it on you, or what is this, Ferg's Beast Tamer? Okay, you can hold that. Or Trainer, I keep saying Tamer, but I suppose it doesn't matter over much. Wolfie, go right here, yes, a challenge indeed. Go right here, ooh, wait, you can go right to the edge of the Writhing Fortress. You should still be able to heal to full, but also, oh my lord, 2.1k, that's not bad, you won't be able to reach the Writhing Fortress in one round, but that's okay. Now, you two. We have Drunken Brawler, and we have a Mammoth Helm. I'm more inclined to risk Mammoth Helm, so we'll have you occupy this place. You're wondering why I'm saying risk, because I don't know whether this guy can reach us in one round, and if he can, obviously Stigazling will die. How much do we care about it? Not as much as the Drunken Brawler guy, because we want an army with lots of giants. Don't bother collecting the income here, and I think we're also not going to bother repairing this. At least not right now. You know what we could try to do? Slith Wallbreaker, we're gonna pop you into March Stance. Go here. Go here. I want to see if we can have you move to Stormwrack Mount. Because obviously the two of you should be able to take this without too much trouble. You go, I guess, okay, fine, go out to the sea. And can we land here? It looks like we can. All right, just in case, we should probably keep you two together. What's the likelihood that this guy actually sallies out and attacks you? Would he lose? Maybe, but not while we're in raiding stance. You know, just go back here teensy bit, like so. You two, stay together and then hopefully attack Stormbreak Mount. Obviously, these guys aren't attacking us, the champions or whatever. They'll just wait for Wulfrik. And, yeah, this army certainly looks like it's going to give Wolfie a challenge. And by the looks of it, this guy's got a similar sort of type. They're both level 21. I wonder what the significance of the level 21 is in this particular case. Anyway, Hamathane Frost and Olaf Fimirkan. I guess it's time to take out Serena Katarin. Not her faction for good, but, well, this is probably her only army on field at the time, since there are 3 territories. Alright, and we will obviously... Oh, she's got the Frozen Heart of Winter, and she can summon another Elemental Bear. Yeah, that's gonna be worthy of a fight, I should think. Gotta watch out for those bear breaths. And Hama, you're going to move right here. And leech a little bit of that XP as well. Everybody gotta do a little bit of leeching. And let's see, we do have a little bit of treasury to our name. Wait, I think we did all the building last episode, but we did not... Great Skull Legs. Oh yeah, let's go into our allies. We did not do something. Was it a hero that we needed? I mean, we do need a couple heroes. Oh right, we need another Skinwolf Werekin for Kuchar to get 4, but we don't have the good type that we wanted. Recruiter Ragnarsson is headed out here. Alright, hold on to the money for now. That'd be a good idea to get some more Slaaneshi chariots for Surtha. And we could pop them into... Oh wait, actually we... Or can we? I was wondering whether we should put them into his army right now. Just out of curiosity, if you go into an encamp stance, will you still heal to full? Because you could raid out here in Marienburg. A little bit more raiding. Oh wow, 59. Basically nothing. And it actually won't heal to full, so just go here. Just go here, whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have even done that. Just go back to Karun then. I just wanted the public order to get maxed out, so you're fine. You're fine. You're gonna transfer those to Surthak in a turn or so anyway. Anyway. Let us have you now attack Serena Katarin's army. Pyrrhic victory. We are certainly a little bit damaged, but let's face it, her force isn't all that elite at this point in time. We've destroyed most of her forces. Just gotta watch out for the Frozen Heart of Winter and the other Elemental Bear summon. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Time to see what the Iceforged Legion can do. And it is appropriate to have it in our our all-ranged army, as odd as that may seem and sound for a Norscan army. But anyway, these guys aren't in range yet, but eventually they will be. And we just have to draw the enemy to us. So, let's start on that. I also want to point out that the Iceforged Legion has Frostbite, which should combine further very nicely with our range army, and if we can get it targeting the right units, with the Stagger Shot available to Olaf Fimirkan. And we should keep an eye on other range units that we may, I'm not entirely sure which ones, that we might try to get from another ally that would potentially give us additional slowdown, as obviously that would be helpful for this army. But anyway, we're going to start the battle out by annoying Serena Katarin with a good old-fashioned Spirit Leech, and if she's not going to react to that, we'll just wait out the time a little bit and cast a few more of those. No real need to move forward with our she's is she causing the miscast? Why is our mage miscasting every time? Damn. I don't remember. Does Serena Katarin have a anti or a miscast aura or something like that? I mean, several of the mage characters do, but I don't think she's one of them. But anyway, we're just gonna keep that up. As I was saying, no real need to get the Marauder horses stuck in, simply because the enemy outranges them and, well, I wouldn't say has more range than we do, but has more range than we do, at least on this side of the map. Alright, just keep on chucking those javelins for a little while. Not going to be super effective against these guys, but if we can catch the light war sleds or anything with lower model counts, we can certainly do a little bit of work. Olaf will charge through the enemy line just to try to prevent them from firing a little bit. but generally speaking, the purpose of all this is just to try to annoy the enemy. And it looks like they are sufficiently annoyed, and by the looks of it, some war sleds are moving towards us. And this should be a target that our marauder horses can take care of, and we gotta enjoy them while we can, as we will soon have marauder horse masters to replace them, who will be better, but also that'll be the last of these regular marauder horseman units, as there won't really be any need for them anymore. How are they doing, incidentally? Alright, about, let's see how much damage that volley does. Well, not too bad, about 25% HP off with the volley from both of them, and one of the war sleds will go down. Alright, and if they want to have a little bit of a range shootout like that, well, they're more than welcome to it. Finally, the enemy moves in range of the Iceforged Legion, which will fire their icy hell cannon shots at said enemies as they attempt to approach. Nice splash damage on those things, and we should be able to knock out a fair few of the enemy infantry units as they approach, plus slow them down while they do so. Which just means more shots into them. And there we go, nice connection there. It looks like the regular Iceforged Legion shots are perhaps a little bit less damaging than the... Ooh, that was actually not too bad. Wait a moment. Was that the Metal Mage, or was that the... Yeah, that was the Metal Mage. Nearly 4,000 damage for a free Shem's Burning Gaze. It's not so bad. Anyway, as I was saying, I think the regular hell cannons have a bigger splash, but obviously only a single projectile, so that does kind of make sense. And plus we can increase the splash damage with the active ability. We are already at 174 kills, and I lost the thing. 29,000, nearly 30k damage as well. And look at the enemy getting slowed down by that frostbite, down to 18 movement speed. Not the kind of movement speed you want to have when you're under bombardment from hell cannons. Frankly, it may actually serve us to recruit a few hell cannons from another Chaos faction and put them in this army as well to join the Iceforged Legion. And there's certainly potential for it. Anyway, looks like a few Kosovo dervishes attempt to flank us, but we do have our single werekin to lead the charge of our, or counter-charge I should say, of our other units against them. And the Kosovo dervishes shouldn't stand any kind of chance, especially with the javelins knocking them down. Looks like more war sleds are moving forth, as well as the heart of our, that's just a regular elemental bear, who will move on in and breathe upon some of our marauder hunters, which will lose about 40% of their HP. Fortunately, it looks like these war sleds are just about out as well, just like the other unit of war sleds. There we go, very, very nice. That one's done, and now it's time to focus down the elemental bear. The werekin will move on in. This is one of the werekin that has the enrage ability, so we can activate that and reduce damage by 50%, or use 50% ward save, which ain't too bad, and certainly going to be needed if it's going to hold off one of these big boys. Although it doesn't have to do so for too much longer, as the javelin spam is certainly working out. We can see the Shem's Burning Gaze coming down together with those Iceforged Legion shots. And we're going to charge our second lord, our Marauder Chieftain, that reinforced the line towards the Icy Heart, Frozen Heart of Winter here, as we don't want this thing breathing in the same manner that the enemy did. Alrighty, let's see how we're doing otherwise. The bounce power's at about 70% in our favor, and though the enemy are starting to move towards our main line, by the looks of it, none of them have actually reached said main line yet. Plus, we'll have Norscan Whalers available to us soon, which will be quite a nice buff for this army as well. Alright, looks like the Frozen Heart of Winter is done, just like that summoned elemental bear, and that's a big, well, sort of debuff for the enemy line. Armored Marauders are also getting absolutely obliterated by the Marauder Hunters with the javelins. There we go, it's quite effective. As unfortunately for the armored Kossars, their range is just as short or shorter than the Marauder Hunters with javelins, unlike the regular Kossars, and their armor doesn't stand up that well to those javelins anyway. Alright, moving on in with our Marauder horses. We can play a little bit more dangerously with them now that we are soon about to replace them, but it looks like the balance of power shifts to about 95% in our favor, and it's just now a matter of waiting out the By Our Blood until the entire enemy army shatters. Very nice shots once again from the Iceforged Legion, and certainly I think they probably carried this battle. You gotta love this frickin' thing. It's just too bad that we can't build multiples. I'd even take just being able to build regular hell cannons, but with the Iceforged Legion's sort of color scheme on them. Just when they're available, you know? Alright, one more shot, one more shot. Oh, come on. Oh, is everything out of range now? No, it was just reloading. Alright, there we go. The battle is over by our blood is done, and I just wanted to see a couple more hits connect from the Legion. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful work, and we technically don't need to chase the enemy down, so I guess we won't. I just had to get one more shot off to bring Serena Katarin down with our lord there. Alrighty, there we go. Decent work by Olaf's army, and, well, that power-up from the Iceforged Legion is certainly there. 549 kills and 72,000 damage. It's always been a very powerful unit. Hell Cannons quite powerful on their own. Four of them in a battery, pretty darn strong. Anyway, looks like our damage was relatively minimal, which is great. We are still going to sack the place, as it's worth quite a bit of cash to us. That's 6,300, so sack. And stop. Wait. I guess we'll want to actually raise the place, but we can't do so right now, so we'll go into raiding, which will allow us to... Here's a question. Well, I guess we're gonna go this way, and look, it's Gotrek and the Golden Knight. They probably could have tried to join our fight there, and you are now on a chariot. Huh. Would the chariot be better? It would allow you to apply... that's a question. It's an Ice Wolf chariot, isn't it? Man, this is Marauder chariot. Huh? This is Marauder chariot. This says Marauder chariot Ice Wolf, but I assume it just... this is actually an Ice Wolf chariot. Yeah, we'll try him on the Ice Wolf chariot for a little bit, potentially, but I'm not sure that we'll keep him on it. I do like the ability to reposition him, and he might be able to do more melee damage on this thing if he rides through stuff, but on the other hand, I'm not so sure that we want to... legendary tracker. Ooh, we've been waiting for this. I'm not so sure that we want to... can't buy movement range. Deprive him of the mount, which would be repositioning faster, and to sort of do a lot of micro with this one guy. But anyway, what I want to see is this. Marauder Hunters with Javelins, currently at missile strength 43. If we give them Legendary Tracker and the Worm Piercer ammunition, they are now at 68. Better, but still not on not at Wulfrik levels. That might be the Hardened Hunters with combination. But anyway, it's still a significant power up to these guys. It's not 81 or whatever Wulfrik has. What does he have? 89. But the only difference is Wulfrik's got another, what, 2% out of this, and then another 8% to 12% out of this. Yeah, 14%, alright. And, and reload time reduction from this. It's probably Hardened Hunters that makes up the difference from the rest. Alright, looks good. Anyway, that was that. We have you who can't move, and now we have a little bit of money. I did say I wanted to build up the outpost. We're going to build this one here. We don't technically need one here in... the Slaneshi territory, and probably don't need one here in the Coordinate territory either. At least I don't want to waste the money on them as yet. Though that'll change as we go. Anyway, it looks like we're ready to end the turn, so we'll skip the unassigned skill points and outpost thing. Damage building, and where's the damage building? Oh, it's here. Right. Alright, ignore that. Alright, it's also Serena Katarin. You want peace now. That's not going to happen, though. There is a decent argument to be made for going down to the Silver Pinnacle and raising it before moving towards the rest of Serena Katarin's stuff. Mostly because otherwise the faction will revive and then just be annoying. Not that we really care about any of the area, this area, the mountains, the Northern World's Edge Mountains anyway, but why risk it? It's not like that particular army is in a hurry anywhere. Anyway, Supervisor, Constructor, and Constructor. Everybody's getting Constructor today. Ally begins outpost. Fortress gets a plague. Military setback. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Minus 50% campaign movement range? Good lord, why? Man, once again, Norsca feels like they get just awful, wait. Can we risk... Wait, go here. I want to see if we can go into regular move stance or not, but I also... yeah, okay, just stay in March stance then. We'll still attack Stormwrack Mount. Kill the big one, Norscan Warhorse, sure. Pyrrhic Victory for this. Do we need to fight this? It's just a bunch of basic marauders. I'm not sure that we care enough about it to bother with fighting it. Don't think about it. How much is this worth for sack? Oh, no, we don't want to sack it. We want to actually keep the place. Although, no, sacking it will screw up our public order here. And because it is a territory that we own, so it's probably not worth risking. Anyway, Wulfrik, that doesn't change the fact that you have to keep moving. Wait. Oh, you can't reach the Writhing Fortress. Oh, that's a shame. Raiden camp right up to it, or at least as close as you can, and then we'll put Agnar right beside you. In March stance, I guess? Since he can't move quite close enough to raid. And then we'll take out the Writhing Fortress next turn. This is probably worth a lot of sack value as well, especially since we will be trading it. On the other hand, if we don't sack it, it'll probably be worth more to Tamarkan. Minus 66. What's the likelihood of that, I wonder? I guess we'll see. Yeah, you know what? This one I think we could just auto-resolve. It's not enough. I mean, sure, we could send the Fimir in, but we've been seeing the Stalkers in particular fight a lot throughout the campaign, and... Oh, wait, actually, I just realized something. Wasn't there another full stack? This is probably a full stack, isn't it? It's another... A moment. You go here. Yeah, there it is. All right, no. No, we'll fight this manually. I almost forgot about you. But then, yeah, at the end. You're gonna move this way. Hopefully there isn't a full stack here to immediately kill you either. I guess we'll find out. Kinda risky, but what can you do? Okay, we'll fight this in a second. Let's move everybody else around first. You're just a fairy, so we can send you southward. You'll have to pass Beckhofen. Kind of concerning. Alright, are you able to... What do we have here? Oh, we got defenses at Mordheim. Might actually have to fight this. It'll be a minor battle, but I'm not sure that we can risk auto-resolve. Well, let's see if it says minor casualties. Let's see what it says. Pyrrhic victory, but casualties low. That's kind of unclear. I think what will happen is the Feral Manticores will get severely damaged by this, but it is 7,000 gold. 7.7 thousand gold, I should say. And I'm disinclined to say no to that. Throggy can't help over there. He can, however, sack Templehof, which is, funnily enough, worth a lot less, but probably also will then mean we can auto-resolve it. Let's go to Castle Templehof. Purple Smirk will leech, together with Lamon Dal. Okay, well... Alright, we can't get any of those in here. We just gotta wait for the Maws of Savagery for like 8 turns or whatever it is until we get them back. 6 turns, okay, that's not nearly as bad. And we still have the Great Maw Herd of Blood Fjord to unlock. Purple Smirk go into March stance. And Lamon Dal, I guess, into March stance as well. Follow Throggy. Neither of you can reach Templehof. We're not keeping it, but we will sack it. Auto-resolve like so. Barely any damage, and sack the place, and I guess we'll raise it next turn. Alright, stop moving. Stop moving. Are you able to raid for this turn? You are indeed. Beautiful. Alright, a little bit of cash. An enchanted shield for Burble Smirk will give him something a little bit better as we go. Sword of Might for Lamon Dal, we can turn that into something a little bit more useful. Fimir Hammer, good. More Fimir Hammers mean more weapons for these guys, for the Skin Wolves. The Weirkin specifically. You have Blood Soaked. Nice. We'll take you. Why did I get you here instead of here? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Kuchar, I would like you to wait somewhere, but probably not in Fortress Strosk because... Well, then again, I guess we could start moving you around as a sort of half-stack. You know, go here just for a bit. We have no access to the Weirkin or the Skin Wolves here, but we will have them in 1 or 2 turns once we get this up and running. Alright. Recruiter, you are going to head out to sea and then move this way to where you will be recruiting stuff, go figure. Like so. I'll probably keep you recruiting for a while and then just use another army to ferry stuff over to other places. You're gonna land here, Tech Thief, and head to Salzenmund. You are going to keep thievering that tech at... well, give it a try. Hey, success, well done. Well done, little buddy. Okay, right. Where do we send you where you won't get destroyed immediately? I mean, we could sort of pass by Vitevo. Maybe that's the way to do it. Alright, go by Vitevo. Hopefully you don't pick up this darn plague. But we'll see. Wait, do plagues affect us? I feel like they might? These guys are our vassals, so should their plagues affect us? I have no idea. Well, I guess we'll find out. Anyway, Morkaka. I see no army nearby. It is still risky, though. But nonetheless. I'll resolve, and yeah, okay, that's what I was expecting would happen. Sack, and another Norse Berserker. Campaign movement range, yeah, you can keep that. Gambler's armor, keep it for now. I think we will give you something better. You're gonna stay here and heal and try not to die. And then we'll raise more time next turn. And hopefully you'll be able to move into a range as well. And we'll do the same thing at Castle Templehof. And ooh, we could get you two to swap units. And that would also be swell. Alright, Castle Drakenhof will immediately upgrade the warband camp here. The public order is dropping, but that's hardly surprising with all the vampiric corruption. You guys are now going to, I guess, wait, Hama. You are going to raise an Ashrak Slayer. And we will raise it for, wait, actually, let me just see here. How much raising do we have available to us this turn? Because if we raise for the Serpent now, what'll happen is we won't have the Champion of the Crow available for several turns, which may not be such a good thing. You guys will occupy this, so you won't be raising it. Hey, you two, would you be able to raise... what is this, Louen? Ah, man, I was gonna raise Marienburg. I mean, we could still potentially do it, though Karl is kind of hanging around.
Imperial Scholar.
If we raise it, well, it doesn't look like he'll be able to reach it. Oh, but we actually can't because Surtha still doesn't have Siege Attacker, does he? We really need to get him like a fast-moving monster with the chariot, something that gives him Siege Attacker, because it's annoying that we can't raise Marienburg despite the fact that it has garbage defenses. But we have to deal with Louen. Meaning we have to do this. You're gonna go here. I don't know if Louen can reach Longhi in a single bound. I'm not sure that he can, but what we'll do is go here. Like so. In ambush stance. I'd really love to leave Kurun, but we just can't do so right now. Build the longship and the guard shack, longship builder and the guard shack here. Olaf, I would like you to go right here. And, ow! Whoa. Surtha, I thought it was supposed to be 70%. Ah, damn, I moved you. Oh, you're just short of where you're supposed to be for the ambush to work well. Oh, well. Let's just hope that it does nonetheless. Let's swap the regular Marauder chariots for the Seeker chariots for now. And we can use Olaf since he has the Witness Glory sort of Marauder chariot buffing unit as a sort of backup army. Could probably give him more chariots if Surtha loses chariots, which is, let's face it, distinctly likely to happen, and then we could swap them in. Anyway, what I was saying was, if we're occupying you, if we only have one place to raise, which is this one, we probably then shouldn't raise it for the Serpent at the cost of the casualty or punishment rate, because it'll then drop from 100, and I don't like that. We could always wait for next turn to do it. Yeah, so we can't do it here, yeah, and it looks like that's the only place, which means we will raise this, but for the Crow again. On resolve, and did you get damage or were you already damaged? Raise for the Crow. More gift to the Crow. Can't say no to that anyway. Like so. Alright, a spell shield, this keeps us at 100. Next turn, we raise a bunch for the Serpent, and then immediately raise for the Crow again, without hopefully losing the 100. I really like that bonus healing and armor. You're gonna go here in Kazadir Kulaz, we're gonna sack and or raise the Silver Pinnacle next turn. You will follow, or at least as best you can. Hopefully this guy doesn't immediately attack you and kill you. It's possible. You're a savage chief. I kind of am disinclined to let you go. Would you be able to reach this? I wish I knew how much movement range this was. It's very possible. Might be better to just disband you so that you... Let me just get another one. Wait, do we have a spare Lord, a spare Marauder Chief? We do have another spare Savage Chief. At rank 1, though. This is why I don't want to lose this guy, because at rank 1, we get to get this Chaos Adherent temporarily until you're ready to go. Let's not risk it. PTSD after losing that one Fimir Lord. Plus, you're actually supposed to be getting your own army relatively soon, as you're a Savage Chief, and we could potentially use you to make a Khornate army. Alright. Disband for now. Do you have any items? You have... Okay, you don't need the Mountain Scout or the Barbarian. Those are supposed to be for proper armies. And now you can go. Just to double check, do you have a Mountain Scout and a Barbarian? Barbarian, yes. Mountain Scout, yes. Okay, you're good. Alright. That now looks good. Let's do building, and then let's do another fight. Troll Country. Marauders to builders. There's not a lot of sort of stance dancing, commandment changing in this particular campaign, which is sort of a good thing. Let's upgrade the Norse village here first. Eastern Noblesse to let us upgrade the Offering of War and the money thing, and then... So we're building the chieftain, the raider camps here, meaning here we're probably free to upgrade the additional Caves of Dark Offerings, just for the additional growth. Although the growth at this point is actually pretty decent. We could, on the other hand, start moving through glacial passages here. Upkeep production for trolls, mammoths, giants, manticores, and frostrooms. It's not bad. I do like the additional capacity for Norscan ice trolls that this offers. And the little bit of extra casualty or punishment rate is nice as well. On the other hand, once again, this is the one that we want to spam the most, because of the growth and the physical resistance to Skinwolves and Fimir. No, nonetheless, I think we still go for Cave of Dark Offerings here. At least a couple more. We still need growth, let's face it. Great Skull Lakes, one more turn, and hopefully we get vassalage out of the Chaos Dwarfs then. Cave... Plunder Hall. Help it. I don't know why I said cave. Do we actually need this here? The growth? I mean, we could wait until it gets up to tier 4 and then replace it with capacities is probably the way to do it. Just because the tier 5 is probably going to take absolute ages. Yeah, that's fine. Northern World's Edge Mountains, Kazidir Kulaz. We are not keeping you. Most likely we'll abandon you. Keep it here for now. I mean, I suppose we could trade it to the Chaos Dwarfs as well. Or we could just keep raising stuff. You know what? I'm not going to invest in it right now. Although, you know what? It's 1.5k. Just invest in it so that we don't have to look at it every single turn that the game is saying, please build it. I just rather not. Alright, Diplo check is up next. What do we have here? Broken Axe, Dripping Fangs. Nobody wants to trade, including the Scaling. Gotta watch out for them lest they attack us. Vassalage. Doesn't look like anything. Warhost of the Apocalypse wants peace, and so do the northern provinces, but that ain't gonna happen either. All right, let's fight this one. A little bit of working together with our Nurglite friends. We can use this army more or less to absorb damage, and then the Fimir to deal the damage. Go. Alright, well, isn't that nice to hear? And we'll have Burple Smirk, so we don't need a Chaos Lord of Nurgle, but at least we'll get to use him and all of those cavorting Nurglings for this one battle. And plus the Plague Bearers and Exalted Plague Bearers. We might actually try to build some of the Exalted Plague Bearers depending on if we can later from Epidemius. Anyway, for now, we'll have to start moving towards the enemy army, but we also got to wait for our reinforcing Fimir line. Just the sort of emergency Fimir built in this army. Obviously, we're going to replace them with the various Fimir types. Although I still haven't decided what exactly I want to do with this particular army, or one of the other Fimir army, rather. Because they both they're both Mistwalkers, both Slith and Morkaka are both Mistwalkers, so they want to have the brunt, or sort of the bigger portion of their army, made up of Fimir. I suppose in theory we could do one of them sort of like the Lothern Seaguard armies in the Imric campaign, where one of them is actually a fighty army, and the other ones are just sort of there to potentially auto-resolve enemies, just so we don't have to repeat using the same exact army composition for multiple battles. But anyway, I digress. For now, we've moved all of our Fimir. Gotta remember that these are the Stalker variant. They're quite fragile, and thus will get obliterated by things like the, I don't know, Marauders and possibly even more Marauder Berserkers and possibly even the Great Weapons, but if the enemy is focused on the various Plague Bearers and such, perhaps that won't matter over much. Plus, they can do plenty of damage, and they are in stock, so the enemy doesn't know most of them are there. Alright, our Nurgly little friends, by which I mean the piles of Nurglings, have made their way in. That's got to be the most annoying thing when you're for the Marauders. Just like hundreds and hundreds of Nurglings are running around your ankles and biting at them, which is one of the things they literally do. They just bite your feet and stuff. I remember reading the descriptions of them doing that in the Mark of Chaos novels, but I also remember being surprised that it didn't imply that, you know, the bites from the various Nurglings didn't transfer like massive amounts of plagues or whatever to whoever they bit, because I feel like they would. But then I suppose if a single bite from a Nurgling were enough to just like kill off your entire army, then it would be too easy perhaps to kill off the entire army. Anyway, let's see what we've got. We do have another burning head heading through the enemy army. Just gonna clip our Fimir Stalkers a little bit, but probably more worth it to take about half HP off of the enemy Marauder Hunters. Out here, our Fimir Stalkers have engaged the enemy, and it looks like the enemy has a Fimir of their own, their Mirg, to whom we'll probably react with our Mirg as well. A little bit of Mirg on Mirg action. Alrighty, well, those two can fight it out while our Stalkers continue dealing with the enemy Marauders. Out here, we're going to move our Plague Toads in now that the enemy is distracted by our Horsemen and by our Stalkers. And I think that the combination of the lethal toxin from the Plague Toads as well as the bleed from the Fimir might actually work out fairly decently. So, kind of excited to see what we can do with the Plague Toads in this particular case. And if that does indeed work well, it may be a combination that we may want to look into, either in this army or another army, potentially. Especially if we can find other sort of a debuff area of effect, or not area of effect, damage over time sort of abilities from other units that we can combine with the Fimir's bleed and the lethal toxin of the Plague Toads. Anyway, we do have a couple of flyers on rent, or lent to us from the Nurglite army, and they're going to take care of those Marauder Hunters, hopefully with decent ease. Actually, you guys just have the poison, right? Let me just see here. Yeah, they have the regular poison. Actually, no, wait, the rot flies, they have buzz. Well, it does have the speed reduction as well, which certainly has potential. Anyway, our stalking Fimir are continuing to sort of loop around and get behind the enemy army, such that those Marauder Hunters are now forced to fight the bleed-causing Fimir as well. The Fimir may be fragile, but not so fragile that they can't handle a unit of Marauder Hunters. Bounce power has shifted to about 80% in our favor, and it looks like our Nurglite friends are actually in the process of overrunning the enemy main line. Kind of surprising considering they didn't have heals to rely upon, but I suppose once the Exalted Plague Bearers and the Fimir moved in to help the Nurglings out, the Marauders didn't stand nearly as much of a chance. Alright, out here looks like, oh wow, look, the Plague Toads and the Fimir have obliterated the units on the right flank. Kind of impressive. Good job to them. And they did it much, much faster than the main line of Nurglings and co did. I mean, not surprising considering Nurglings don't really do damage, and it looks like we got decent splash on the Plague Toads as well. Plus the double damage over time. Look at those Marauders get sent flying. I rarely get to enjoy the basic Plague Toads, because especially in the vanilla, they're absolute garbage. But here... I'll be interested to see how they did after the battle and make a comparison, which I guess is right now is with that the enemy army will shatter and the battle will be ours. Nice. Alrighty, now I'm curious. On 191 kills and 18k damage on the Plague Toads. I don't think I've ever seen Plague Toads do that well. It seems like a fairly decent combination since they have that lethal toxin to combine them with Fimir Stalkers. At the very least, Fimir army could certainly make some good use of perhaps not the basic Plague Toads, but the Pox Riders. But a surprisingly decent amount of damage from them. I'm impressed. Alrighty, well, either way, well done to the Fimir army, or one of the Fimir armies, was sort of a temporary Fimir army in the sense that we still have to wait until we get the other Fimir units available, but it's coming. It's coming real soon. Occupy the place? Like so, and we got a free Norse Berserker for our trouble. Now, you leave the settlement and allow Slith Wallbreaker to move into the settlement so that she heals a little bit more. We'll see if this guy attempts to go for us, though I think there's a much more decent likelihood that he'll go for the Monolith of Bubonicus. But if he does, he'll be trapped, and we also don't care about the place, so it's not super relevant. Anyway, this is Stormwrack Mount. We don't need the guard shack here. In theory, we shouldn't need anything. Also, let's go for the go from Marauders to Builders. You know what, we'll upgrade Pillar of Skulls next rather than upgrading the Stormwrack Mount right now. You also have the Trophies of Battle, but since this is one of the newer provinces where growth can actually now come in handy, I think we'll allow it, just for now. Alright, anything else we need to do this particular turn? More Kaka, do you want to get anything from any of these guys? We are maxed out in terms of allegiance with the Bloody Sword. I really hope that they actually build something. Not maxed with you yet, just waiting on those exalted Seeker Chariots. Really hoping that you can... 94 for a single unit of Seekers. I mean, good lord. That's a little bit much, game. Oh, wait, it's 94 because we're not in friendly territory. You know what, let's upgrade the Norscan district here, and let's upgrade it here as well. I wasn't gonna, but now I am. Even though next turn we're gonna have to spend, like, 30,000 gold on recruiting stuff, and oh, wait, not next turn, but the turn after that, but I'll need to try to remember to set you from Marauders to Builders to summon the Chieftains for that time. Otherwise, I think we're good, or at least I hope so, because we're not checking anything else. Let's end the turn. Skip, 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 end turn. And let's see. Alright, Astrogoth, you want us some military alliance? No, hopefully we'll be able to vassalize you this very turn, or as soon as this end turn ends. I've been waiting for it for a while. I really hope that it works, because I really want access to several of those units from the Chaos Dwarfs. And, okay, these guys are indeed going to go for the Monolith of Bubonicus. That's fine, we expected it. He's going to raise it, which is also fine, because we didn't care about the territory. Tamarkhan might care, but we don't. Alrighty, so, let's see about this. First of all, ally mobilizes, that's fine. Someone raised, someone receives plague. Oh, for the love of those darn plagues, just keep on going and going. Mission issued. Alright, so what I want to see is now this. Astrogoth, now that this place is worth more. 102, man, it keeps increasing every damn turn. Great Skull Lakes is, oh, it's a little bit short. What if we join more against Grimgor and Drippin' Fangs? 99. We'd be able to do it for 7.6k. Now here's the question. Are we able to redeclare war on Grimgor yet? No, one more turn. Oh, for the love of... And just watch, next turn, the vassalage will decrease in its chances as well. Okay, well, here's hoping. It's close to it. Maybe we can still make it happen. I'm really hoping for it. Anyway, you're gonna go into siege, or besiege the Silver Pinnacle. Oh, there's no defenses there. Can you just auto-resolve this? Pyrrhic victory? Oh, it'll kill off half your army. Apparently not. Alright, do this. I'm not sure that we really need the siege towers. I'll think about it. We might just fight this immediately because the Iceforge Legion now does allow us the opportunity to do so. Balefish, you can move in here. And we'll deal with it, though I suppose if we immediately declare war on the Drippin' Fangs, who actually like us quite a bit. Well, they won't like us soon. I'd be willing to wager, but anyway. Oh, hopefully Grimgor doesn't immediately redeclare war on us. Anyway, Wulfrik, what do we have in terms of defenses at Writhing Fortress? We got some. Might be worth a fight. In theory. Also, Slith and Co., are you guys able to... Ooh, wait, let's put you into ambush stance right here. And let's see if we can't bait Hellcroft into trying to attack Huba's Soul Shredder. Hopefully he doesn't just try to bypass us. Let's hope not. Anyway, Hubas, go right here. And we'll see about Hellcroft. Can he still bypass us? He can, and he can reach Stormvragmad from here, which is why we're not really going to invest in it. Although, wait. Like this? I can still reach it. I guess we'll see. The AI does play kind of annoyingly sometimes. Hopefully he doesn't just try to go around us and go for Pillar of Skulls. That would be actually much more annoying. We'll give chase if needed. We'll upgrade the Pillar of Skulls, however. You know what? Actually, you know what? Let's upgrade Keurig to him. I'd rather upgrade Pillar of Skulls, but at the same time, if this guy's gonna go for it, then we can... Yeah, I'd rather not. Alright. Wulfrik. What do we have here again? Pyrrhic Victory, and it'll kill off the Beasts of Tashnar. Now, granted, we don't actually need the Beasts of Tashnar in this particular army. They will be swapped out, but that doesn't mean they need to be swapped out now. There's a decent pile of units there. We might fight this as well. What about the Ferry of the army? Ah, damn it, kid. You need to stop moving away from Wulfrik. The thing is, we have zones of control limiting these guys. They're supposed to be trying to march towards Wulfrik, but can't do so right now, so they're moving further away from him in an attempt to go around. Need to fix that. And we were gonna raise that. Damn you, Grog Heldenmouth. Oh, it's hilarious, but also annoying. You go here, and then you two stay together. You'll suffer a little bit of attrition, but at least this way you'll both be safe. And we can maybe raise Nagenhof. If it's not worth a lot of sack value, we'll just straight up raise it. Speaking of straight up raising stuff, Lamont Dahl, you have what again? Yeah, you have Mammoth Helm, so we don't care about you nearly as much. So we'll have you attack this. Oh. With Throggy, of course. Throggy, move closer. And then... Oh, you don't have Siege... Okay, does Burple Smirk have Siege Attacker? Ah, Burple Smirk. You have Siege Attacker. You're already doing it for me. Break Siege. Burple Smirk, you're the one who's gonna raise this then. Just out of curiosity, Burple Smirk is immortal, right? Like, he can't, like, if somebody attacks him, he won't die. Yeah, he does have immortal. I mean, he's also a demon, so yeah. Anyway, out of resolve. And raise this time for the Serpent. Yes. Alright, so this takes us off the 100, which we can hopefully get back this turn. At least I hope so. Huh. But I see the Gift of the Serpent isn't available, so we're stuck with the Gift of the Crow, which is fine. Which is fine. It was always the one we were going to go for anyway. But we are at 8 out of 10, so in theory we should still be able to get the Serpent's Gaze up and running. I wonder if there will be any way to actually know whether this is working. I mean, we can actually... Huh. Well, we'll just have to pay attention to what our army costs are going to be like. Anyway, you're going to go to Fort Oberstyre together, I guess. Can you reach it? Yeah, sort of. Go this way. Kind of leaves Drakenhof in a dangerous position since we have nobody there. We got 2 more turns of that research. Hopefully it'll be able to come up. Throggy, you are going to sack Fort Oberstyre. Although at 3k, it's not that... We should raise it instead, just immediately. Double up. Certainly potential for it. And we won't have to waste another move. Although if we sack it, we might be able to move closer to the moot. Yeah, but Throg still has to stay here because these guys can't really do anything on their own. Resolve. A little bit of damage, a little bit of money. You know what, I think we just straight up raise it for the Serpent. Raise for Serpent. Alright, and hey, a potion of healing. That made it worth it immediately. Lamondel, no need for that charmed shield. And you guys stay near Burple Smirk so that we can move with him next turn. Throggy, you can go into raiding stance like so, and be beside Burple. And you go here. Alright, good. And then we'll move down to the moot and the Schwarzhof. And basically, we just want to create a sort of a ruin barrier around Drakenhof. As we are looking to sort of hold it. Sort of. Anyway, let's see. Who's got the next fight? Wulfrik, I think we are gonna fight with you. Oh. We will, however, also want to move the leech in to leech, as leeches are wont to do. Alright, you're good there, and Stig Aisling, you can reach this as well. Reach and leech. And while, okay, just out of curiosity, how much is this worth for sec value? 19k. Damn. Oh man, can we say no to that? But taking out a tier 3 might allow us to vassals. Ah man, it was like 60 like a turn or two ago, and now it's minus 74. Oh, he's not at war with anybody either. Please join war against the Ice Court. Minus 12. Watch him declare war on us. I hope not. He won't even declare war on the Warhorse of the Apocalypse. That's kind of annoying. Well, I guess we'll have to think about whether we sack the place or no, but we're fighting in either way, so fighted we shall. Go. Alrighty, Norsca indeed. What other factions sort of yell their faction name like that? Well, who they are. We got Norsca, we got Kislev, and we've got Druki. Do the High Elves yell Asur? Do the Wood Elves yell Azra? I think actually Wood Elves do yell Azra. Feels like they would. I don't think Empire yells Empire, but, well, it actually hasn't been that long since I played them. But anyway, somebody make a list and check it twice. Anyway, here we go. Now that we have the Soul Crusher available to us, together with Manny and Wulfrik, our 3 mammoths are able to batter down walls fairly decently easily. So that's what we're gonna do. Who needs artillery in Wulfrik's army when you've got mammoths? Who needs artillery when you've got mammoths in general? And we'll just wait it out with the rest of our forces, all of our infantry, until the walls come down. Although we will send our summoned marauder champions up those walls instead. A, because we don't care about what happens to them, and B, because the enemy has sorcerers, and thus will probably be casting things like, case in point, the Searing Doom upon these guys. So we may as well force them to waste all their mana on a unit whose casualties are completely irrelevant. Lovely. And now we're just gonna slowly make our way up those walls and start fighting the units up above. In the meantime, how are those walls looking? Wulfrik is about 1/3 of the way through the gate. Wall 1's down to half HP. I get both the walls are down to half HP as well. The mammoths are pretty darn quick at bringing those walls down as well, so I'm pretty happy with it. It looks like Wulfrik is through the gate, and we got a 10,000 HP left on the walls now. A couple more hits, and the mammoths will send the enemy sorcerer tumbling down. Beautiful. No more Searing Doom from that guy, at least, as he was on the wall as the mammoths broke through it. Now Wulfrik will move on through, and the rest of our units can move in as well. Manny's going to charge through the breach, but it looks like Soul Crusher will meet the enemy War Shrine in combat. And man, the War Shrine looks so tiny by comparison. Or Chaos Shrine, whatever. Chaos War Shrine. Chaos War Shrine looks so tiny compared to a mammoth. And this isn't even a War Shrine mammoth. Just wait until we get a War Shrine mammoth. Anyway, Wulfrik in the meantime looks like he's taken on a unit of Chaos Knights, but he's had some experience with them. After all, he's taken down Archaon and these Swords of Chaos themselves. So why the heck not a few regular Chaos Knights while he's at it. Alright, and since the enemy wants to blob up here and we gotta get him on cooldown, we're gonna activate the Gehenna's Golden Hounds and the Frost Dragon Scale. Granted, neither of them are going to be particularly threatening to the Chaos Knights, but the Mammoths very much are, especially Wulfrik, as they focus down those Chaos Knights in particular. Now that the walls are down, the rest of our army shall start moving soon towards the breaches to start moving on in. Now it looks like the enemy is actually rushing pretty much all of its units towards the breach. I don't think that this is a great idea on their part, in the sense that, do they really want to be in the Mammoth Blender here? If they had range units like, you know, Marauder Hunters with Javelins supporting them, then these Mammoths would be a lot more under threat. But with primarily basic, and well, not basic infantry, but primarily infantry units like those Warriors of Chaos down here, they shouldn't be all that threatening to the Mammoths. Probably it'll be any single entities interspersed among the blob of units that'll be the bigger threat, and possibly the Chaos Knights as well. I do think that there is a Chaos Lord in here somewhere hitting away at us. Oh, but it looks like he's in pretty bad shape as well, as the Fenrir's Chosen will bring him down right by the wall. Nice. I guess one nice aspect of Fenrir's Chosen being a tiny little unit compared to the mammoths is that it was more easily able to find the enemy lord while the mammoths are distracted by dealing with everything else. The Pit of Shades, which we just recently got on our mage, does a little bit of damage as well. In fact, that's the only spell you use, so 234 kills and 48k damaged for a single spell. Very, very nice, and certainly made the spell acquisition worth our time. Our army is still marching towards us. Obviously, they'll still take hits from the enemy towers, as the mammoths cannot bring those down, but with 3 breaches in the walls, we should be able to get in the enemy settlement rather quick. Not that it looks like we're really going to need to, more or less because the enemy army didn't have an actual full garrison here, and primarily just the defenders. The Mammoth Blunder, by and large, should be able to take care of most of this. Alright, and hey, it looks like the enemy does have at least a few marauders here, some marauders with spears in particular, or to be specific, rather. But anyway, also I suppose another nice thing about the Mammoth Blunder is similar to the Chaos Knights, it's not really threatened by the spells. Well, I guess the Chaos Knights would be more threatened by it than the Mammoths are. Mammoths can just ignore the Gehenna's Golden Hounds as it's a relatively weak vortex in that sense, and well, I guess most vortexes wouldn't be all that threatening to them. Finally, the rest of our troops are arriving. Let's hope that they don't get clipped by the Gehennas, though it looks like they got here just a little bit too late, as just as our marauders and our, well, they're all marauders, and just as our marauders make their way into the enemy settlement, the enemy army shatters, and the battle will be ours. Alright, nice triple hit with Seafang as well from Wulfrik, but anyway, looks like we're good. Yes, no chaos spawn, thus the battle's ours. Alright, pretty good. Wait, why does it say 1,000? Oh, because we moved from, oh damn. Oh no, because we moved from the 3rd level of the Champion of the Crow, it dropped from 2,000 to 1,000 plunder. Frankly, I think the 1,000 plunder limitation's a little bit much, in the sense that it should be higher. It's constantly a struggle to actually use the plunder, and then when you need it, you don't have enough. But anyway, yeah, I don't know whether it was a good move of the enemy or not to sort of blob up all of its infantry around the breach, or breaches. On the one hand, it did mean that our single entities took a little bit more damage than they normally might, with the Soul Crasher in particular being dropped to about half of its HP. On the other hand, it means that the entire blob and basically the entire enemy garrison was cleared out using magics on the various blobs without actually having to be concerned with having to suffer damage on our infantry, so 19k. I mean, I'd love it. I really, really would, but I think Tamarkan as a vassal would probably be worth more as a vassal, so we're going to occupy it at tier 3 instead. We'll build up the military structures, so this one, and I guess technically there are no other military structures, but nonetheless. I wonder, no, this wouldn't count as a military structure. We could try one of these. Yeah, let's put one of these. Let's do that and see how much all of that is worth then to Tamarkan. A weapon, strength plus 10 out of that relic sword, you certainly don't need it, neither do you need the enchanted shield. More stuff that we can hopefully turn into something a little bit more useful. You two are stuck in the stances that you are. And I don't really care about you losing mana right now, so I think you'll just stick around. Alright. Alright, you guys, you're fine. Now let's see what else we need to do. Surtha Ek, once again. Looks like, your ambush did not get foiled, and Louen is coming up. So we better get this party started. Alright, you're going to move in then, Olaf, and we'll level up this one Skinwolf, and then move on in and fight ourselves some Louen. And, okay, well, maybe we'll do the building first, but then, let's go hard to hit. since you already have Ruinous Flesh. Next up, building, just to separate the stuff a little bit. Ooh, one more turn until the Mountains of Hell will also go to Tier 4. Beautiful, beautiful. Hellspire Mountains, you have arrived at Tier 4, meaning Chaos Totem, 1 turn, Chaos Frost Dragon, Norscan Giant, Feral Mammoth, and Norscan Ice Trolls. All available, plus Marauder Champions, Whalers, Marauder Horse Masters, and Champions with Great Weapons are all already available. Recruiter Agnarsson, I would like you to go to the edge of this territory. It's an Alfari Plain, right? Yeah. Go to the edge here. I want to see what our capacity is currently. Oh, you have a construction cost reduction. I didn't even realize. Wait, did I not? I thought I... Weird. I thought I built the upgrade, but then Did I build it somewhere else? Oh, I built it here at Monolith of Catan. Oh, because the 2 of them came up. Yeah, that's fine. I want to see. So we got 32 capacity for Marauder Hunter, or Marauder Champions and Great Weapons. We got 32 for Norscan Whalers, and presumably also 32 for Marauder Horse Masters. Fantastic. We got them all now. All right, so first of all, the Marauder Horse Masters. We need to send 4 of them, presumably, to Olaf Fimerkin to replace these guys. Oh, damn, I forgot to check whether... 28 and 29. Wait. 28 and 29, eh? I think they don't get the upgrade. The Worm Piercer ammunition upgrade. Yeah, 26, that's just veterans. Say, alright, so... Then the question is, do we still use these guys in this army? I mean, it is an old ranged army, so it should still probably have them. So we'll still get these guys, even if they aren't able to make use of Worm Piercer. They are javelin units, which is a little bit of a shame, considering the game's had all javelin units. But nonetheless, Marauder Horse Masters will get you going. Slanesh giggle. You're going to be recruiting here, Agnarsson, for absolute ages now, so we'll switch to some of the chieftains. We'll immediately build up the damned Longhouse. Damn that Longhouse. And then the Chaos Totem as well. Yeah, that's an immediate access to 12 units we didn't have before. I'm happy we finally reached it. Now, I guess you will still need the Ruinous Altar here, which is still relatively cheap to build, and then we have room for one more thing. The question is, which thing should be constructed? And we could go for the Offering to War here. We can go for one of these things as well. Or we can go for additional growth, but the Tier 5 isn't actually all that... We don't need to rush Tier 5 nearly as much as we needed to rush the other stuff, so I think it's not as important. Simply because the only thing we're missing is the Blessed Marauder Champions now, and the 2 Super Mammoths, but having access to Feral Mammoths means that, you know, we can wait on the Super Mammoths. We can build basic Mammoths and then replace them with Super Mammoths as we get them. It wouldn't fundamentally change any army or anything of that nature. But anyway, you know what? We'll go for the smithy here since we're recruiting. We can always delete it later. Since we'll be recruiting for a long time, the plus 20... Oh, and it'll give us recruitment capacity. Let's do that. Well, let's do that. Frankly, this should probably be built in another territory as well. Maybe somewhere where we're more likely to recruit things. Chieftain's Hall, maybe somewhere a little bit closer, like here when we hit Tier 4. But anyway, for now we're good. You are building up. You need to do the same thing. Where were we? Here. And get yourself a... Oh, this is going to take a while to build, but that's fine. And we are also going to get to the Ruinous Altar, which is my favorite kind of altar. Alrighty. Let's do the rest of them as well, while we're here. Kirik Vlag. We're going to do you. Get your upgrade up and running. Or is it Temple of Heimkel because of the port / frozen around? Nah, let's go Temple of Heimkel. Port is still more useful to us. Castle Alexandrinov, well, you have a port as well. And I fear we might actually run out of money this turn. Well, we'll see. After we fight Louen, we may very well get all that money back. You can go for the Offering to Slaughter. Oh, actually, no, you can't, because we'll need another Raiders camp here. Since that's what we're building here. Why all the Raiders camp in one place is 4 of them will be plus 12 Lord Recruit rank in one place. Which we certainly need, because everywhere else the Lord Recruit rank is garbage. Oh, I hadn't realized that also would apply to Burplesmirk, so we could have recruited him at rank 12, but only in like, I don't know, in like 15 turns or something like that, so we don't have access to it yet. Certainly something to consider for other lords, but anyway. You can get the Warwolf Dens, at least these don't technically cost money. And Zornus Cool, we want to trade you, but not for another turn. Or was that this turn or last turn? Damn it, I forgot already. Well, just let's upgrade the other stuff and then I'll figure it out. Oh, that was the only thing we need to upgrade anyway. Alright. Is it this turn? Yeah, it was this turn. Okay. Okay, fine. Oh, please, Chaos Dwarfs, please. Gib vassalage. Alright, you're good. And let's fight a Louen, shall we? He's got some nice stuff. I'm still willing to bet he'll run, though he shouldn't, since in theory we only have chariots. Go for it, Surtha. Defeat him again. He will indeed run. Huh. Louen, are you at war with the undead? I forgot. You are not. Okay, well that explains why he did bypass them. And we're gonna trespass in these guys' territory, but frankly, they don't like us very much anyway. Actually, while we're here... This guy's got a fairly big garrison here. Not worth a lot of sack value, though. Maybe we'll leave them alone just for now. And hey, Epidemias, you've gotten yourself a nice score sell. Oh, might be able to get this entire province if we allow you to take Marienburg. Be protecting our nearby territories. Anyway, Surtha, kill the one. Like so, valiant defeat, eh? I mean, he certainly does have a fair few knights, and Louen himself will be a toughie, but we shall see. Yeah.
Begin the butchering!
Alrighty, begin the butchery indeed, and it's time for our Slaaneshi friends to join in on the fun as well. We'll see how effective these secret chariots are, at least to some degree, though obviously they stand no chance against the enemy knights, and thus we're going to have to avoid while fighting said knights with them. And they're just gonna run through all these tents. I can see the fruit stands being tipped over now as they start moving towards the enemy army. Also, now that we've got the tier 4s coming up soon, we'll be able to retrofit Surtha's army, and just like we're going to do with the Wulfriks and etc. And one of the main reasons that we wanted to do that was that Surtha and Wulfrik can begin their journeys. Wulfrik to Lustria and Surtha all the way to Khemri. I don't imagine that Cetra's dead. It's I think I've seen his faction get destroyed like once in many campaigns, just like one time. So it's pretty darn unlikely, especially I think at turn 50 or whatever it is right now. And certainly not so late that any other faction nearby would probably have gotten strong enough to be a threat to Cetra, especially because Khemri has a pretty insane garrison. So, yeah. Alright, either way, looks like we're in the fight now. Louen has been brought down fairly low in terms of his HP as we have managed to spam Spirit Leech on him, but it looks like the enemy has trapped a bunch of our chariots with its pile of knights. So we're gonna have to get them the heck out of here. Unfortunately, one of our Ice Wolf chariots is very much trapped. It hasn't lost a single one of its actual chariots yet, and we're trying to clear a path for it to escape with the Gehenna's Golden Hands, but unfortunately it looks like the vortex will veer away. On the bright side, while the chariots have been distracting the knights, it has allowed our marauders and our marauder hunters with javelins to close the distance a little bit. And now that the marauder hunters with javelins are here, the enemy infantry should be not nearly as threatening as it was before. Surtha's still in the fight, and several of our chariots remain stuck, but we have managed to get at least the Slaaneshi chariots mostly out of this. And there they move in the background, trying to loop around the enemy so that they can go towards these guys back here. Poor peasant archers are trying to do what our marauder hunters are currently doing and focus us down, but they're going to suffer under the ministrations of the Slaaneshi chariots. This is what these chariots were built for, and mincing a weaker sort of elements of the enemy infantry line will be something that they're very adept at. So, they will of course continue to get chased by Knights of the Realm and stuff, but they are fast enough at 100 speed to get away from them should they need to do so, and we do have another one to hopefully loop around the enemy. Our Marauder Ice Wolf chariots continue to attempt to move away, though they are still stuck, and this is the danger with chariots attempting to fight enemy units or enemy armies full of cavalry like this. On the bright side, Louen, though cavalry isn't going to be too big of a threat, as those spirit leeches continue to hit him hard and will soon, by the looks of it, bring him down. Oh, and one of the Skin Wolf Werekin is there. There's the next Spirit Leech coming down. First one was the regular Spirit Leech, and the second one was the bound one, and that is enough to bring Leon Kerr low. Alright, the bounce power shifts to about 80% in our favor. Our unit of Slaneshi chariots is just causing havoc in the Bretonnian backline, as well it should. Running through those poor peasants, as if their lives weren't tough enough, they have to be run over by the serrated blade storm of the Slaneshi Seeker chariots. Still, can't wait to get some exalted Seeker chariots on the field as well. I haven't gotten a chance to see how well they do in SFO. But I'm excited to do so, because in Vanilla, the Exalted Seeker Chariots only have the single unit, and in SFO they have two, which is obviously a pretty big difference. Anyway, looks like the enemy knights are in very bad shape now. The bounce power at 95. The enemy has failed to breach the line of marauders, and the Norscan hunters continue to do their work fairly decently. Looks like a few of the enemy units will revive, but with the chariots now giving chase to all the enemy units of marauders, or no, enemy units of marauders. I got too used to fighting other Norscans. Enemy units of peasants, it'll only be the knights left on the field, and that I wager, not for very long either. There we go, nice hit from the two Skinwolves working together to bring down those questing knights. Though I am impressed with how many questing knights the enemy actually managed to build here. Gotta remember that we did knock out Louen's main army, so he does have a location somewhere that's built up enough to allow him to recruit tons and tons of questing knights. It may warrant us going over there and actually raising the place so that he no longer has that capability. Otherwise, he'll just keep annoying the conquered Kurun. And though I do expect that'll be the case for a while, we can at least put up a basic army here and have it defended. Anyway, close victory, but still continuing to do nice work there, Cirtha. And just to wait for your retrofit and your journey and your saga to begin. Alright, not bad. You know, in retrospect, I probably should have allowed Olaf to have defeated Louen for the defeat trait, but well, Louen's not down for the count, so he'll be back, and next time, if I remember, we'll try to get him the defeat trait. Decent damage on our new Seeker Chariots of Slaanesh, much more than those of the Marauder Ice Wolf chariots. But that does make sense, because we sent the Seeker Chariots to run down all of those men-at-arms and peasant bows, whereas these chariots were supposed to hold off the questing knights, so it's a pretty darn horrible matchup for them, and it does explain why they did little damage. If, well, in another battle, we'll be able to compare how much damage the Seeker Chariots do compared to the Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots when hitting enemy blobs of infantry and such. Either way, Louen's army is destroyed, and we'll probably want to heal up here, so go here. Might as well raid since we're here. I don't think anybody out of here should be able to reach Kurun. Gotta watch out for these Beastmen rebels, unless they pull another, well, whatever they pulled last time. I also note that Carl... Oh, wait. There's Berserker, that's fine. Scroll Blast is fine as well. I note that Carl... You can go into raiding stance as well. I note that Carl is not at war with us, and we could declare war on him now. It might mean the destruction of Epidemius's and Festus's stack, depending. I mean, I think Carl does have another army near there. Or we could just let this go on for a little while longer while we continue the destruction of the Sylvanians. And there's also potential for that. Anyway, and either way, we're out of time, folks. I'm gonna have to call the episode here. Next time, Olaf Himmerkin attacks the Silver Pinnacle and wipes these guys out. And hopefully, next turn, if we redeclare war on Grimgor and the Drippin' Fangs, who love us, but once again, not for long, we'll be able to hopefully vassalize the Chaos Dwarfs. Hasn't happened yet, but 6.3 is not so bad. I could actually do it right now for declaring war on the Drippin' Fangs for... You know what? I think maybe that's worth it. I'd rather not risk whatever is going to happen next turn, so let's just vassalize with him and declare war on the Drippin' Fangs. They might reattack this guy, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine by me. And we could also maybe then capture the Silver Pinnacle and then trade it to the Chaos Dwarfs and go around here. They won't be happy about us killing off the Overlords of Jarduk later, but once again, I don't see how we're getting out of that one. Do it. Yeah. Like so. Alright, and another vassal, a very important vassal, as this will also give us access immediately to Infernal Guard if we want them, but to Bull Centaur Renders, who are pretty darn fantastic. Build up the garrison immediately at Uskalak, and another vassal joins us. Lovely. These guys should be able to protect these territories, and then if we can get Tamarkan, we should be able to protect these territories, never having to venture out here into this portion of the Chaos Wastes. Again, at least not with these guys. Also, next time, Wulfrik will head down here and knock out the Cool for good. And then we'll see if we can't do the vassalization. We do need to capture this location, however. The Bleeding Spire for trading, in order to attempt to trade the Writhing Fortress to Tamarkan. And also we really need to get him to fight somebody, because he'll declare war on us if he's not fighting anybody. What about the Drippin' Fangs? Surprising that he's not fighting Grimgor right now. But anyway, you know what, we'll deal with that next time. Stay tuned for more Wulfrik. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.